Okay, so I couldn't get the screencastify to work, so hopefully this will justify it. But here's my presentation by Angela Rolfe, Theme Park Vacation Tour. First on the list is the 4 theme parks that I chose. The first one being Six Flags Magic Mountain in Valencia, California. This has a total of 16 roller coasters that are within the park. Some of the more popular ones are Goliath and the Magic Flyer. You may have heard of the Superman. Superman was the first roller coaster my brother ever went on when he was 38 years old, so you can imagine how exciting that was. The second park that I chose was Great Escape. This one is in Queensbury, New York, and it contains 5 roller coasters. And then as I proceed on, the theme parks only get smaller, going on to the Universal Studios, which is a favorite of mine because of the Harry Potter world. And then ZDT's amusement park, which is within Texas, and it just has one little baby roller coaster, but it was along my path to get to the Magic Mountain in California, so I figured why not. Just a little tour. My route, day 1, my sister and I will be driving from Blackhawk College to Queensbury, New York, which is where Great Escape is. And we will drive the 15.2 hours, which isn't so bad for me. I've driven much longer, so I'm okay with that. And it'll be a total of 980 miles, and we'll spend 2 days there at Great Escape. The next park is day 3. We will drive halfway to Orlando, Florida, and the trip is 18 hours and 29 minutes, and it is 1,268 miles. So we're going to stop somewhere in South Carolina and stay in a hotel room for the first portion of the trip, and then we will continue on with day 5 and 6 at Universal Florida's theme park and spend the day in Harry Potter World. Staying at, of course, a Harry Potter hotel. That is $252 a night. Then we continue on to day 7, where we will drive to Texas, and that is a 16-hour drive. It is 1,122 miles, and we will stay in a little cheap hotel, and then spend just the day at the ZDT theme park because it's very, very small. It's more of like an amusement park more so. Day 9, we will drive 10 hours to California, but we will stop along the way because it's actually 20 hours from Texas to California. And we will stop along in Phoenix, Arizona, because as you see in the map I have posted here, it stops exactly in Phoenix. And we have some really close family friends who live in Phoenix, Arizona, on the South Mountain. So we will spend several days with them, and it'll be a great time, and we won't spend any money while we're there because they just always feed us, and we're not going to want to do a lot of stuff. Just relax after the crazy trip that we've been having. So that'll be nice, and then we'll continue on with the other 10-hour drive, which will get us to California, Valencia, and we will spend the day at the amusement park Six Flags, which is the largest park that I chose, and the total mileage is 1,428 miles. So we'll spend the day there, and it'll be great. Super fun. Day 14 is when we start the drive home. It will be a long drive. This is the longest drive yet. It's a day and 43 minutes. So, and no theme parks in the middle of it, so we'll stop at a La Quinta and spend the night there because, of course, we'll be exhausted, and then we'll continue the trek home, and that's 1,866 miles. Alright, on to the budget. The budget total includes, I gave myself $500 spending in emergency money. I'm not sure if that's enough. I mean, it's emergency, but you never know. And the total budget came out to be $3,713.36, including that $500. And it's broken down here on this slide. It's Six Flags and the Magic Mountain, the park tickets, plus times 2. And then to park my car, because I'll be taking my Ford Focus, save on gas mileage. And then the hotel per night, and the Great Escape, and Universal Studios was the ticket that cost the most, as you can imagine, because Disney World and Harry Potter World is very expensive, and we chose to do the two-day package. So it's $224.99 each for those 2 days. So it's roughly $100 per day, a little bit more. And then the bus will take us to the park, so we won't have to park our car. But the hotel is what really gets you as well, because it's $252 a night. So that is the most expensive hotel as well. Alright, so next we have my food budget. I gave myself $294 because I love to pack lunches, and I figured this is where we could save some money. All of the food and hotels have breakfasts. All of the hotels have breakfasts, so it should be okay. And so then we're going to spend 5 days total in the parks, which will be about $15 for all of those, each person for all of those days, if you calculate, how much bread is and what kind of things you want fixings you want on your sandwich. And then we have, for dinner, I gave it $12 per person, so that's $120. And continued, so traveling day, you just kind of snack. So, yep, that's how you save some money as you pack lunches. Gas and hotel, we'll be taking my Ford Focus, so it gets about 40 miles per $40 per gallon on the interstate. So we will need about 166.175 gallons, and that'll total out to be $416, roughly 17, I guess you could say. So continue on. This was my first calculation of what the best route would be. I recalculated it just recently, and it turned out to be a little bit more distance per mileage on each trip, like from each distance. I think that had to do with it changed due to traffic or something. So the other photos don't exactly match up, but this was my first calculations for the most efficient path to go to Blackhawk College, and it's just kind of one big loop instead of doing any triangles, so that worked out. The budget questions. If you were to drastically cut your budget, I said that I would either choose a park that's closer than going to Valencia. I'd probably go to the Six Flags in Chicago, and so that distance is only 1,222 from Texas compared to the whole route of 3,295 miles from Texas to California and then back to the Blackhawk. So if I packed food for every meal, I would save roughly about $90. And then if we stayed at a cheaper hotel, aka if we didn't stay at the Harry Potter hotel, we'd save approximately $300. So if we cut back in all of those places, we'd save a drastic amount on both gas, food, and hotel. And then when we came into the interest calculations, it's calculated out to be about $95.72 per month, and that is including the addition of $104.50 that the interest rate will increase the price. So I added a little photo of Goliath in here, and then we will proceed on to my lovely spreadsheet. So, let me go on. I first chose to, I got it. Okay, there we go. I first chose to have all of them together. And I did the reconfiguration. I redid all the math. And we have the height, the calculations for the height here, and different graphs that just kind of compare all of the roller coasters within the height, length, and the inversions. So you have all of the roller coasters, and down here I calculated the z-score And it showed that the height had the biggest significance, including the linear coefficient between the height and the inversion was quite a bit, so that's interesting. And then you proceed on to graph or spreadsheet 2. This is just over Six Flags and Magic Mountain. So I calculated the z-scores again, and once again height was the highest number, and the linear coefficient was lower than when it was all of the roller coasters, which makes sense. And then all of the other calculations. Now, we can proceed on, again, the z-score for all three, or all of them. For the Great Escape, the length was the highest number, which I found interesting because the other two were the height, but this one is the length. So that says something about the park. And then for Universal Studios, Florida, you have the z-scores, and once again height wins the battle, wins the race. But for ZDT, because it only had one roller coaster, I had troubles calculating all of the different, you couldn't really have a median mode range mean because you didn't have a different amount of height, length, you just had one number. So that kind of put a damper on being able to calculate the z-score as well as the standard deviation and the linear coefficient. I wasn't able to do any of that. So that's not good, but it's okay. So that is my project. I hope you enjoyed. Again, here's Goliath. It is considered one of the tallest drops for a wooden roller coaster, which is really cool. I haven't been on it because it was broken down the last time I went, but hopefully this coming time I'll be able to go on it. So I hope you enjoyed this lovely video. Alright, have a good night.